Thank you so much. So we mentioned on the third part of project strategy, which is imperative. Okay, imperative, and we have goals and initiative. So the third one, imperative, which is goals and initiative. Under goals, we have the goal. We have OK house, which is the objective, key, abilities. All right, and we also have metrics. So metrics are the guidelines or the measurements to know your success projection and to know your performance or success pathway. So I'm trying to look for a way, English to qualify that. But moving on to this. So under goal framework, we have the OKRs, like I said. This is not moving. Okay. So I said goal setting framework are used to measure and manage goal products. So you have a product. So remember, we have the business vision, product vision. We have the overall business goal. So you need to keep in mind that your product goal is different, will be different from the business goal. And as product managers, we all know that apart from being a business product manager, most times you can also be a product feature manager. So you have a lot of features that needed to be created, and the product is moving on from launch to through its life cycle stages. There are a lot of implementations to be carried out, a lot of testing, a lot of changes, a lot of features to be built as it goes on from ideation through to declination. So I mentioned on Saturday that we're not going to talk about SMART goals because it just simply says that your goals need to be specific, measurable, attainable, retainable or rich and time bound. So these are things we hear from motivation speakers when they say have SMART goals, have SMART goals, and how. You want to be sure that these goals are measurable, they are trackable, and they are feasible. So moving on, under goal, we have OK house. So like I said, OK house is used to achieve an objective with key results. So they are the objective and key results. So each objective, this is just a few minutes. Is Uzak in class? Okay, just a few minutes, please. So like I said, you need your goal to be smart and smart, measurable, and trackable. Something that is you don't want to go through on the right chase without getting a key result. So you want to know that for every goal you made for a product is successful. So, and for every time product management, you have to manage your product. You have to make sure that for every product goal you create, you start from beginning to the end. So you have a starting time and an ending time. You are making each product features, or for each product journey you embark on a project that needs to be sent to the ending. Site design for the company. So OKRs helps in achieving an objective with key results. Each objective are given scores from 0.0 to 0.01 to indicate the starting point. So you're starting a project, or you've assigned to a team 0.0 to 0.01, And also 0.0, 0.3 to also identifying risks, which will later be spoken on, and 0.7 to 1.0 to indicate near achievement of fully achieved. So we can say OKRs are from 0.1 to 1.0. So okay, so for companies KPIs, you can try to put a weight as suited or suitable to them, right? So if I say, my KPI is different from this, so OKRs framework are considered as objective and key results. So the objective this helps to compel action. It helps with achieving product vision with a deadline to work towards. So like I said, you have to be time bound. Your goal has to be smart. They have to be time bound. And you want to have a deadline for each. You want to know when you are done, right? So it is the outline of 3 to 5 product goals specific to the product and users. So you don't want the objective to be clumsy. You don't want to be heavy. You want something that you can track and see. So if it's 3 to 5 objectives you have in a month, let that be key. And that's why we talk about product feature prioritization later on. So you have a product prioritization. This is a priority right now. So at this point in time, this is what you have. Even though I keep saying that as product managers, even though while you're going on through a product feature or creating a product feature or implementing a product feature, you always have ideation or ideas that will come up and looks important and good. But at that point in time, they are not priority to the business goal. They're not aligned to the business goal or to the pay point at hand. So a customer is complaining about response time rates. At that point in time, you are trying to ensure that the customer support team has a good and effective CRM that could help their response time rates to be better, faster, right? So when you're going through your feedback or you're going through your survey, you could have feedback on how to make a website. Okay, a lot of time it could affect the website, but at that point in time, a website to be the speed limit or the speed rate of a website. Yeah, that's a good idea. That feedback is awesome, but at that point it's another priority. So why you keep that you understand the pay point, but you start the CRM optimization you start it begin and end it before you start implementing the other one. So except at the point where you saw that at the point of CRM optimization, you realize that you could easily do that easily and make it without affecting the time frame for the project. So what I'm trying to say is always put a future prioritization in mind and make sure your objectives are key and you see them to finishing. So have a deadline for your work to work towards. And as the product manager, having this will help the engineering team understand that you are in for them. So they're not saying one day developers were developing this, next day are saying no, engineering teams we are doing this, no, next day. And so I wonder that I'm not even done with this. We're not going to test the bulk response and everything, or the bulk response or ratio, and you're coming in with another thing. Can we just finish this before weighing us out and everything? So that's why your objective has to be important, defined with timelines involved. So the key results are what you want, what results you want to get from your objective. So are they measurable results from each objective set, which will help you in advancing the product goals? So this can also be set to be specific measurable outcome to determine a goal that's been achieved. So for every objective you have set, you want to have the goal at the end of the day. The goal is what you use to measure if your objectives have been met. So this is the result we have at the point of time. So we let's say for I don't want to use elements because it will be a big rounding project on my head. Let's say I want to get a CRM for a company like Amazon Cars, and we're trying to make sure that the cars that come, the brand new cars are different, so that customer support agent that is talking to clients that selected brand new cars could easily see it and address them easily. So this is what we're trying to say. This is how we have a talk time whereby you're trying to check the car link, going to the website to see if the car is locally used, foreign used, or brand new. You already have from the back end, you already know that, yeah, this guy is brand new, and you address the customer by then. So any question you're asking the customer will be straight to the point as regards the vehicle selected, right? So at that point in time, my key results would be for me to be able to see a feature putting dividing in the foreign use Nigerian vehicle on the dashboard. So if I'm not saying that my objective is not being met. So we have objective, you have for each objective you have a feature you are creating, and you have a resource you need from it. So for example, KodeCamp is to create an awesome learner's experience, right? So objective is to create great experience for learners. Your key result will be to improve learners' resource, which is maybe by 50%. So now you can measure that. Improve mentors to learners by 1 to 10. So that as you want to group learners into group mentors by learners, and the ratio will be 1 to 10. So for each track, 10 learners will be assigned to one mentor, right? So as against now, these mentors then know that their key performance indicators will be ensuring that these 10 learners reach the finishing line, which will be graduating, right? So, and the only way I will know they have great experience is by them graduating. Actually, the key end will be by them graduating. So if I realize that learners fall off because mentors are just all over, mentors are just there when learners seek for advice, and we have some learners that will not even come into a mentor for advice. But when we can have a mentor that can become accountable to them and ask, okay, where are you right now? Where are you hearing? The learners will have a wonderful experience. At the end of the day, I could measure my objective and see that being concluded. At the same time of this objective, I want to create one-on-one accountability pattern as mentioned that mentors can decide to make sure that learners have appeared in two. So that you can, if you're not getting across to Chigozie, you can ask Chigozie, you can ask Daniel, how about Chigozie? So as a mentor, now I have 10 learners to myself. I've paired Chigozie and Daniel together, Femi and Ashley together. So if I can't get across to Daniel, I'll ask Chigozie, where is Daniel, and herald him. If I can't get across to Femi, I'll ask Ashley, where is Femi, and the rest. At the same time, I can establish peer review. So at the end of the day, I'll be able to measure the number of learners that sign up for this program and number of learners against the number of learners that graduate. And by the time I'm taking my survey, I want to be able to see that experience rates, or like customer experience rate, learner experience rate has improved by 50%, right? So that is one aspect. So OKRs could be but that different type of OKRs. So we have, but the simplest one is having a business mission. So this is a mission, which could be a product mission or a business mission. So you have this, to have objective from everything. So like when I said great experience for learners, which is the business objective or total run over objective or the project objective. So I can put that here. I'll put that in here. Then create the mission, or the objective. So I create mini objectives for me. So if you notice, objective here has changed for me. It became mission, which is my goal end, the total end at the end of the day. But my objective now are now subdivisions for me. So what I call key results here become my objective here. So, and because I have, for each of these key results I've kept in here, I also have some key results in it. So when I'm saying I want to improve learners' resource by 50%, that's a generic term. What am I putting in? Am I creating a dashboard where trainers are putting in resource and it can be measurable? So I can put in here that, okay, create a dashboard on LMS where learners' resource is being kept. Create an email notification for learners to know when a class has been started and to know where to get the link or where to get the resource from, right? Then create an analytics board that measures the total number of resources we have as regards each class. So I've gotten 3 key results from here. Then I can also just make that my to-do and to-do and everything. Sorry. So going forward, say there are different methods in employing OKRs, from goal first approach to detailed planning. So there are different methods whereby you can employ, you can make use of your OKRs. So you can use this is a goal first approach. That means we have a goal, so let's target the goal first, or so in-depth and detailed planning. So just like you have a generic business goal when you launch a product. So you could just, okay, the goal right now is to launch this product. But as the product life cycle is being, as the product go through its life cycle, you have other details or other details to input, and you begin to have specific divisions, right? So OKR is a framework that pair each objective, with key results to determine achievement. So it can be achieved by creating product objective from the business objective. For example, business objective is to increase KodeCamp revenue by 25%. My product objective can be, so when I was talking about objective here, mission here, I have made, when I was talking about objective here, I had made each objective, or each key result I made here as an objective, right? And make it subdivision. So a senior product manager could just tell you, this is the company's objective, this is the key result I want, and give it to you to go and work on. So you team member or the product manager that is being given, then they'll just make this your own objective, first objective. Then you make other key results you want to have. Then because this is also generic, like I explained before. Then from there you derive what to do. Then you can also make this one under key again. Then you derive what to do. So coming back to what I was saying here, so for example, the business objective for KodeCamp is to increase revenue by 25%. The revenue by 25%. So they are saying is that you are increasing the monthly or the, so for KodeCamp now is not annual, it should be periodical. So let's use Q1, Q2. So it's not yet, I don't think it was not been divided by that way. But let's assume because I'm divided by Q1 or Q2 or by session. So increase session recurring revenue by 25%. So that means by the time I'm differentiating the revenue that comes in KodeCamp 3.0 or KodeCamp 2.0, it has to be higher by 25% against KodeCamp 1.0. Moving on, so on Saturday I made mention that this will be achievable by, so how will I achieve 25% revenue? Definitely, if I'm achieving 25% revenue, I make sure that 1,000. So last 5.0 says they want 5,000 learners, right? They want 5,000 learners, or they had 5,000 learners. So if I'm increasing the revenue by 25%, that means I have to have 25% of 5,000, which is 1,250 learners. And if I'm getting, and understanding that you are getting 1,250 learners, that don't mean that is what you have as your marketing metrics, because that you have 1,250 learners signing up for a program, that don't mean they will start the program with you. So you want to know at what metrics you want to calculate the people. Is it at the third week of the program? Then you know that, okay, 1,250 people are signed up for Slack or signed up to the LMS, taking the first class, taking the first tax, or made up tax 0. So then you know the metric they are using. So if 1,250 the new learners have done tax 0, that means they started or initiated the program, right? Then and for you to get 1,250, that means you have to get like 50% of 5,000, which is 2,500 learners to have 1,250. But most likely they may fall off. It's okay to have more than to have less than. So second one would be to improve learners' experience by 20%. I've explained by my first example how most likely we improve learners' experience by 20%. So increase average cost payment to 50,000. So remember when they said they wanted revenue, or the example said revenue. So revenue means they wanted money. So whatever cost it was by, so you're understanding that for Coursera and for Udemy, she will agree with me that not all courses are the same price. So I want to make an average cost. Average of the cost is on KodeCamp. So if assuming a cost costs 150,000 naira, another cost probably full stack, another cost costs 250,000 naira or whatever. So for me to have an average price, I'll make an average of this 150,000 people. Make an average of, I'll make an average of, like, let's say 50,000 naira for them to have an increase revenue of 25%. Now it will be a bonus to me if I have 500 learners applying for 250,000 naira course. I had under 250 learners applying for 150,000 naira course. At the end of the day, it will be balanced, right? To be on a balanced scale. So our program managers, OKRs are tied down to features. So like I said, they are tied down to features. So the features you face. So if you are creating a CRM for response time of a customer for Amazon cars, then by the time we're in the next NPS or Net Promoter Score, I want to be sure that I want to have a customer feedback saying they are, and we also want to sure, and when you're checking your analytics dashboard, want to make sure that the response time that took a customer support agent to reply to a customer has moved from probably 5 minutes to about 2 minutes, right? So it is and then you know your features is successful. Right? That means the CRM dashboard you've created with new divisions are successful. So this will help in knowing what features to prioritize, which one to chill, which one to reboot, which one to improve on, and the rest. So OKRs are used to inform roadmap with time guideline. So sorry. Okay. Okay. So they are used to improve life. They used to improve roadmap with time guidelines. So OKRs are not, since I have an OKR, I have a dashboard, I'm checking this, I don't need to create my roadmap. Roadmap is a different tool. So OKRs are time bound. Roadmap shows the movement as she closes one thing to another and prioritize one feature to another. So moving on, so the admin template for OKRs, and this includes the simple OKR template, which lists the business objective, the team objective, and the product specific objective and results. Right? So I have an example. I have a template here. So this shows all the objectives. So you have the company objective, then your product team objective. So most times it's simple, but most times the main product, you as the product manager should have this. So you know at your dashboard, you know what the company objective is, and at each objective is being measured or is being met, you check it against. So which is now metrics. You check your social metrics as against they align to the product, to the business goal. So they align to the business success, right? So the next one will be the team OKR template. This focus on team level OKR with defined details. So this is it. So you have, so each objective you had to do, each objective you have to a features we kept here. So you always know which is it a narrative that is doing something, is it a designing the product something. So you have each objective for each team members, and you know how to handle, how to go out, how to measure, or how to track the progress. So the next one will be the OKR confidence tracker. This is used to track process from 0.0 to 0.1. So remember when I said OKRs are the measurement from 0.0 to 1.0. 0.0 to 0.1 shows that you started the project. 0.7 to 1.0 shows that you have not completed the project or fully completed the project. So now this is now when I said there's another one that shows the risks, 0.0 to 0.3 risks. So let's stand up or weekly meetings. you want to have a tracker that shows at what point, where is the point whereby your group, your team is at the moment, right? So have they completed? What is the movement? Although this is not reliable, it is actually based on assumption and estimate most times. Okay, just like saying give or take, where are you right now in your project? So I started my project 0.0 to 0.1, and tomorrow we want to move it. So we have there's a tracker like this flow, which shows the progress tracker for team. So let us assume at this point in time you created and you started the project, you started the research on it, you send out the survey, then that's 0.01. So the next day I want to see 0.02 to 0.03 or thereabout. And if you are 0.03, let me know, is it that you are encountering some problem or risk, or is it just your movement, right? So if you want me to measure against your timeline how long this person has moved, even though it's unreliable tracker, you can also trick it, and there are technologies out there that helps you. There's technology out there that helps you able to use it better, and be able to track it or to measure it or to quantify it better. So a template of this is this. So it shows the movement from at what stage they have as against I'll be dropping template on the group so you can see clearly as again where they are. And also, like, now you're going to go and talk to the team, so you can tell them, yesterday we started the project at 0.01 to this and this and this. So it helps you talk to stakeholders with confidence and with trackable results, although it's still not reliable. So we have the weighted OKRs. Weighted OKRs are what most companies use for their KPIs. So you set a priority or weight to an objective. So let's assume, as a sales manager, the objective is to close for Amazon cars, to close 25 cars in a, right? So I'll put, most likely that carries more weight than the number of customers spoken to, or the number of customers reached out to. So I want 25 cars. I want to see your total margin or profit made in dollars as against this. So you weight at what you kept as the KPI, how important are they? Then you create the weight as how important it can be, right? And one expo to life is that for just like when we were in school, whereby we had we that are still in school, whereby we have what they call it, grades, right? Yes, so you have the a grade of K being against 5.0 as against the class weight, the course weight, or 3.0 as against the course weight. And you already know that at 3.0, if you can achieve 3.0 times whatsoever, we give you an A grade, times whatsoever, will give you a B grade. A smart student knows that you check through your grade and see 1.0, how heavy. There's some weights with higher tax. So there's some courses with less grade but higher tax. So this course doesn't entrepreneurship education. So this course, the courses, is it easy to achieve? Can I achieve it and read it for my worries? Then fine, you could just read the book in one day and achieve it, and just know that okay, you can just spend out prepare for your exam, pen it down, sleep it somewhere, so that you can just revise on that book. You're going to go back to that and start reading 24 pages when you can as a storybook and just print it out. That way you've already moved that weight. It's not important actually, and at the same time it's not sometimes easy. But a 2.0, you have like 10 courses for a semester, and you have 5 weighted weighted 3.0 courses, and you have like one or two. No, let's have 3.0 courses. You have 3 weighted 2.0 courses and maybe 2 1.0 courses. One of the 1.0 is giving you an issue. Just got it. teach this course, it will not affect my life. It will affect my overall KP. It is GP at the end of the day. But if you have A's in your 5-3 graded, you're definitely, once you have those A's in those 5, you're definitely on a decision level for that semester. And the remaining ones, you can have a B, and a C. And I did that in school, so I can't remember what I did again, but I know that for the semester I did more of those courses. I had more. So bringing that back to KPIs, and I still use that in my workplace today, or in my OKRs and KPIs. When I was a business developer, business manager, I try to see my KPI and say what weight should I work more on, and which one does not have problems, like all those HR surveys, or which one are important to do and not to do. So you want to have that. You want to create weights as regards the objective and how important we have. So I think I have an example for a weight. Okay, yeah, so this is weight. So I've shown the example of weight. Then let's talk about the simple presentation. So these are OKRs that are used for presentation to key holders, stakeholders, top management, and the rest. So this contains labeled key activities. It's commonly used when working with different sessions of a company. Let me know when I'm very fast. So we have this dashboard. Okay, at the beginning of Q1, this is our objective. This is what we achieved, and this is what we've done, and that helped the revenue as against this. So because we have 2 minutes response time rates with customers now, and an agent can answer 100 calls in a day as against their 45 calls per day before, right? Then you measure that. So right now, Q2, we're currently on this objective, and these are things we have to do. We've done this, we've done that, and this is the result thereabout, or this is what we are projecting or hoping to achieve, right? So you already have a template out there that will help in your course of life or your course of career. For this, you also have a detailed presentation. This shows monthly, quarterly, and yearly priority goals, and that shows against when you're having more data on this dashboard right now. So it also helps you to put in place top priorities and upcoming plans. So this is something like this. It shows what you did last year, second what you're doing this year, what you abandoned last year, what you're picking up this year because of priority, what you killed, what you're picking, and every other thing. Moving on to today's class, which is metrics and initiative. So, and today's class will be the end of product strategy. Although we are here to handle product analytics. So next class will be on product analytics and product plan. Should be on Thursday. So metrics, right? Yes. So metrics, these are the data points used to track and analyze success of a product or performance of a team, right? It's used to detect problems or risks, set goals, and make defined and well-informed decisions. At the same time, let me use the term word. This is also used to shakara some people, because we can't, even though we are trying to ensure we are staying clear to our success metrics, we won't leave out the vanity metrics because they make us look good to people. So metrics can also be said to be quantitative data using assessing, comparing, and tracking product performance. A metric from another foodstuff, sorry. So a metric dashboard is called KPI. So when I mention KPI, you have a KPI, you have a dashboard already. You know what you see. It was close to 25 cars. Your portfolio or your sales portfolio must be 20% activity rate must be seen. Conversion rate must be like 50%, all those blah, blah, blah on the dashboard. So dashboard is called a key performance indicators. So you're creating a dashboard, you're having a dashboard, that's your key performance, that's your KPI. So OKR is for KPI. I hope that has been established. OKR are the objective and the key results. So the dashboard, you keep your OKR is your KPI, and they are being defined by your metrics, or they are being measured by your metrics, right? So metrics can be grouped by the land, can be grouped or can be determined by or group or seen by the landing page visits. So Okay, for social media, now you want to check how many likes you have, how many people view your Facebook metrics, Facebook status, how many engagements, how many comments you have. So these are metrics that are easy to be, that are relatable. So but for a business website, so it could be landing page, how many people are visiting my page? Is it getting the exposure it needs? How many people are buying? And so I keep mentioning Instagram content creators or content page. You have a content post today that had 100,000 likes and 50,000 comments. And you're like, hey, great, because yeah, engagement is good. So a competitor may come on the page and see 100,000 comments. Say, yo, 2 minutes. 50 comments already. 2 minutes, 50 comments, no small. 2 minutes, 2,500 comments. Wow. Well, this person is getting engagement. But at the end of the day, you realize that post does not help in conversion of sales. But a post whereby, and the post could be hilarious, a post whereby is so serious, more detailed, well informed, will have like 2,500 likes, 50 comments. But at the end of the day, you're having like 500 sales from that post. Then you know that this post has more effect over in conversion rate as against the other one that has a whole lot of laughing emojis, laughing comment, and the rest. So for you to have a better one, then you can decide that, okay, what is it in the other post that make people engage it more? And what is this other post that make it have more conversion? So the other laughing post will have 50 sales. The other well-informed post will have 500. They want to tweak them together to see how to make it better. And for content creators that have their calendar, so they know when to relax more. So customer can visitors or what they call them. I don't know. I'll use the word customers. So that at least your these fans, I can't remember whether they use for people that engage, community members who know that, okay, this day we're laughing at this day, so we laugh more. At least I can find humor when I have stress or I'm well stressed. And at this point in time, I can have better whatsoever. So if you just plan those and know what to do better. But so from what I've explained, the page that gave you conversion of 500 have a success metric. A page that gave you more 100,000 likes, 500 or how many thousands of comments has given you a vanity metrics. The vanity metric is not considered because at the end of the day, it does not align to the goal of the business, which is to make revenue. So the one that had 500 sales is your success metrics. The other one that had a whole lot of engagement, likes and comments, and your competitors are like, they're having plenty of people. That is your vanity metric. It makes you look good to others, but not aligned to your business goal. So moving on from here, wait. So moving on from here, we have so I said that it can be grouped into the landing page visit, the conversions, and the sales. So I'm putting them in a well-defined term. So landing page visit is called the top line metrics, right? So these are the visits that comes on board. So this measure the land page views, the number of people that view your product, people that visit your product. Have you gone to a website whereby like a book website to buy a book, or to buy a book or a pro website, and you're seeing Adamawa from Niger State just bought one. Chioma from UK just bought one. They look good, but they're not quantifiable. You don't kind of ascertain how true that is, right? It just helps you, the buyer, want to buy and say, oh, this person is buying, and let me quickly buy them, right? And have you seen some metrics whereby you see a product, they'll tell you 100, especially people that use Flutterwave websites. You see 100 in stock, and by the time you're checking, you can see 50 remaining or 50 in stock. That is the success metric. that is quantifiable. We have that product at 100%. People have taken it. As against Adamawa in UK is buying, and you don't even know if it's true or just a automated feature that makes you move ahead to buy a product. So if this is one, or the top line metrics measures your land page views, your visits, your product visits, your visits, the land page visits. How many people visited you this time around? What is your traffic rate? So if you have a blog, you understand the views and visits so well. So you want to know at what time is your page more engaged. So let's assume you have a blog. You realize that, and you know this from the metrics or from the analysis board, but you know where they are coming from. So around 12 a.m. to 3 a.m., you have more views because some night owls are one checking and reading, and they read more. You know the response, the time rate at which they over a page. So sometimes right in the daytime, you may have more page visits, but at the same time, people are just overing through. Within 2 seconds, they are just on to next thing. So that means they're not reading your content. They're just browsing through to see what they could have. But maybe between 1 a.m. to 3 a.m., you have more people staying on a page reading better. Have you seen some pages you read? I think I'm trying to remember the app I used. I was reading a book from, and I read I read so fast. By the time I was trying to turn over the page, they had to go back. I have 5 seconds more before I can turn over the page. That's just their own metrics on making sure that they could make me they could have a more success metrics when they are calculating their top line metrics. So also have number of searches. So on your website, you're having somebody searching for full stack, searching for backend, and that person searching for product management. At the end of the day, KodeCamp is acting at the PM. What call do you think people are looking out for more? You can say, so they keep searching for cyber security and we don't have a course. That also propel you towards the next. Sorry, a few minutes. That could propel you towards. Thank you. That could propel you towards what to use, what to do, and what more to do. And checking more on Toyota vehicles as against messages. Then you know that okay, Toyota vehicles seems to be what customer wants more, and you want to have more of that on your web page. Yeah, like Instagram or Facebook. You want to know number of people saved your content or saved your post, right? How many people viewed? Therefore, someone like Instagram, Twitter, you want to know how many people shared your post. So anytime you're on Twitter and you're seeing 5,000 share retweets, just so that this is top line metrics. So just put in your mind, any retweets you see on Twitter, that's the top line metrics for that post, right? You might not have the save for Instagram. Anytime you save a page on Instagram, you've done a top line metric for the post, right? And for views and everything and the rest. So views might be a vanity stuff because somebody might view a page and do not remember because they are browsing through it and just came alongside them. So likes and for somewhere like YouTube, like is important. Like is the metrics you have to check because people don't just like content unlike like Instagram, they just like because of the picture quality or whatsoever. So going forward, we have the next one is conversion metric. So now people are coming to your page, they're checking for product coming, they're checking the products, they're downloading your special report or whatsoever you have on your dashboard, but they're not buying from you. So the conversion metrics check how many people come to your page as against how many people are buying. How many people are signing up for your emails? How many people are subscribing for your email? How many people are signing up to have an account on your page? And how is the funnel progressing? So as a visitor, I came to your page newly. Your metric, your top line metrics already captured me as a new user coming to that page. I've never come to that page before. I just found in. So we'll talk about the growth metrics later, which will try and check where I'm coming from, right? So I came on your page, I check, I went back. I said, searching will have been picked already through your growth metrics. You will have picked my search history and everything. I went back. I came back tomorrow again to come and check. The commercial metric is one checking on, it's one calculating. This person came back yesterday. Top line metric will say this person came back yesterday. Commercial metric will just compare against it. Okay, now America's that check. Someone like me alone, one alone, I've checked 10 cars already. The commercial metric that's okay. She checked this person this one yesterday. They sign up to talk to an agent, probably by email, or I also apply for the car, or through WhatsApp or whatsoever, right? Then so if I try to settle for one car and I try to go to the next phase of car buying process, which is to talk to the company to know if I want to buy through financing or directly, then your commercial metric will tell you this person came to your website, like 3,000 people came to your website today. So 500 people are moved from visiting your website and they selected a car. There are 250 people have proceeded to tell you if they want to buy through financing or want to buy directly. 50 people, 100 people are for financing. 50 people are currently on documentation stage. If already filled, that's for financing now. You already filled your finance document, your finance application form. They submitted and they are rightly on document check. 30 people right now have been on financing partners table or DEX to know they will disburse. 50 people have been disbursed. Now you want to check why out of 3,000 people that comes in a day, you have 15 people being disbursed for. Then okay, what happened together? Out of the 250, 100 was for financing, the 150 people. Then you want to check this 150 people that on direct sales. It might say 50 people decide to go and inspect the car or agree to inspect the car. 10 people bought the car. Then you want to check which of this product is working. This is the financing product, direct buy product. What is happening? Why is that 50 people are the ones disbursing the loan and against the 100 people that came into the pipeline and everything? So your commercial one is one that check that. While your bottom line metric is one that does the last one I said now. Against what happened. So I've been example to explain these things. So commercial metric is the metric that measures the user decision or their progression through the pipeline or funnel. That the sales conversion, subscription, registration of a user as regards your product could be, and also measure the number of times a registered users returns. While the bottom line metrics, which is sales, it measures the number of sales conversion, the percentage, the net promoter or that the NPS, and the EIBT or etc. as regards to your company and to your product. So remember when I said it can be grouped at landing page visits, the conversions and the sales. So I've mentioned them. I've given you a defined name, which is the top line metrics, the conversion metrics, and the bottom line metrics. These are just the groupings or just the categorization of metrics. So the for a layman or for a total summation top, you say will be metric can be defined how many people are visiting, how many people are converting, how many people are doing sales. But we have more divisions to the metrics than this. So we have types of metrics, or type of metrics. Their metrics are defined now. Let me put this. When they are defined, the types of metrics are used as regards your career or your line of industry or what you do. There are a lot of types of metrics out there for people to use, right? So for us product managers, which is why it's having a product metrics, we have two major types of metrics. Oh, sorry, three major types of metrics. I'm so sorry, which is the success and the growth and the vanity metrics. So the growth metrics was added recently. I'm coming. or added recently, or like 5 years ago or 10 years ago by someone called Dave McClure, who is a Silicon Valley investor and a founder of 500 startup. When we get to growth metric, I'll play you like if I think a 5-second YouTube video whereby he made mention of his ideology for Ignite C2. And it's an interesting one that just put all the focus of the business into a funnel and just helped you out. So just think, okay, this is what I need to do at this point in time. This is what I need to do at this point in time. This is what I need to do at this point in time. So for the two major ones were the success and vanity, but the third one now is the growth. I did my error. So we also have more subdivisions to this. So you have the success metrics, you have the vanity metrics, you have the growth metrics. But while you're checking your success metrics, you want to also check primary metrics, that's measured against the business goals and changes against the life cycle of your product. Don't check the secondary metrics, which is to check the impact of changes of improvements as you go on. So not every time. No, I mean, okay, I don't know. If you work in a tech company, you realize that people will say, anytime tech do something, spoil something, right? So you want to know that your new implementation or your new future is not affecting something. So now you created a CRM for response time rates for customer support agents. But while you're doing that one, you have gone to go and remove their so now let's have in the team, they used to assign tasks to each other. You affected their tasks because you think it's going to be helpful. And you're not trusting. Yeah, you even make it more worse. So now, new cars, fine. Customer is in new car, but I don't know if it is Femi that owns the tax, or it is Fred that owns the tax, or it's Evelyn that owns the tax. Now I have to start assigning Evelyn his own tax and everything. Or someone say, because you assume I'm the one handling new cars now, I have 100 people to attend to, or 200 people to attend to in a day. That's a whole lot of pages to check through. Then you know that, okay, something is wrong somewhere. What can you do better? So that is the secondary metrics measure that behavior. Then you have the guardrails or the health metrics, which measure the primary as against the objective. So is this helping? Is it healthy? Is it helping us? As secondary improve what we did when we change things and everything. So I'll go into the main ones, which are we're going to talk about the subdivisions later on. For the major ones now, we have the success metrics, which is important. So that metrics is actually I remember think like these marketing people, I don't even know how to confide them. Some people say marketing people in this, they don't even know how to confide them. Yeah, we are having you are sending out, and I keep saying marketing teams are important to you because to the sales team, to the company at large. Because the way your information is being out there to the customer determines how the customer will buy your product, right? So, but doesn't mean that you have 500 likes on a product discount you decide to have. Does not mean that customer will buy that product. So you want to check back. Okay, we have 500 likes. Why we have 50 people buying the product? When we're selling the product at when we're selling the product at when we're selling the product at the right price, we had 150 sales. So while we have 50 sales discounts and everything, so what's the difference between your success metrics and your vanity metrics? So success metric, this measure the key factor. The key factor that define a product success and final implementation. So remember, as product managers, every objective is tied to a feature, right? So and that's why we have the minimum viable product, and that's three. So product plan will expose us to those ones. Let me check this. Just a minute. Yes, so product plan will expose us to those to expose us to those. Yes. So this helps you. So for product feature, Vanity Metrics helps you to measure your final implementation. When are you launching to the people? When are they using that? Why for business, it helps you define the progress success. That's so it's measuring now. This also measures the number of sales and conversion. That means this handles the metric and the bottom line metric, right? That makes success metrics. So the gross profit, that's what gross profit, the gross profit margin, the recurring sales, and the usage from a customer. That's for a business. So same metric can be divided, can be divided according to department or according to the department you're working with. So if you're working with the business at large, then you want to be able to measure the gross profit margin, the recurring sales, and the usage of a customer, right? If you're talking to the customer service people, you want to measure the total number of users per day. That means people that visit your website per day, and returning users and clients. You want to measure the response times and the response rate. Then the Net Promoter Score, which sits in the customer satisfaction or loyalty of a customer or retention of a customer. So you want to check the customer retention or churn rate. What is churn? CHURN. It means how the speed or the rate at which your customer does not come back or they don't buy from you, or you're staying away from your product. While retention means the rate at which they come back and they buy from you or they remain with you. They also want to check customer feedback. So metric can be subdivided as regards the department you are working with or the product feature you are working for, right? Instead, you might want to be for customer service people, you might want to use your metric to define the CLV and the ACV. So CLV is the customer lifetime value. Customer lifetime value means that the amount. So for marketing, so for every customer that comes to your website, you have a marketing spend on them, or you have a marketing target on them. So that's for you to get one customer, you're spending like $2,500. So the CLV is the amount of revenue or the profit you are expected to get on a customer. So at the end of the conversion rate, the amount you have used, your operational cost rate, amount used as against the total money you create. When you have it as an average or as against number of conversions you have, you want to know if the CLV is right or you are making loss from there. Then the ACV is the average customer value or retention. So you want to know what's the average timeline your customer stays with you, or the average timeline they return to you, and the rest. So on product features, this measures your product uptimes. So at what time, what is like when I talked about the block, when I said you want to know at what time your content or your post is well engaged. So this one, you want to know when do people use your product more. Let us say you created a physical product like a lift. Yeah. So when you're creating a lift for a company, you want to measure, I forgot to know, MTTP. So I did engineering, so I'm trying to remember what I learned in school. You shall measure the time, the highest time for traffic. That's the length time with highest time of traffic in a day, the lowest time of traffic in a day, the balance time, the average time of traffic in a day. So let's assume you have doing a lead for a company, So you want to, by in the morning, you have more traffic in the lead because I want to be able to calculate the speed rate at that point in time. And at the same time, slow the speed rate at the point is not working well. It's not going to be more effective. So at the end of the day, the machine timeline can be balanced. So I'm not going to mechanical details right now. So please don't walk away from my analogy. So you are creating a lift for a company. You know that by 8 to 10 or 8 to 7:30 to 10 o'clock or 7:30 to 9 o'clock, their staff are meant to resume by work. So definitely you have people coming in 10s, in 20s, or as regards to number of people in that building, right? Now, if by some around 12 to 2, you most likely will just have 1 or 2 people coming into the office. So that's for a company that have the administrative staff or whatever. They're not really they're not open to customers. So you have like 1 or 2 customers coming in. So for a bank, it's a very different situation. At 7:30, 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock, you have their staff coming in. At 12 o'clock to 5 o'clock, you have customers rushing in. So you want to have that time duration. So that is now when you start your product, you want to calculate at what time your product takes more traffic. Now, bug response time for engineering team and everything. If there's a bug, all the response time for it, you want to make sure that as a product for your product feature as a product manager. Then daily. Sorry, I mean, no, please. Sorry for that. So like I said, you want to check the time at which your product uptime is. That means your product is being well engaged and well used. At the same time, you want to check the bug response time. So when there is a bug on it, what is the response time for the engineering team and you and for your product? Then the daily active usage of the product. The cycle time is like your customer experience journey or cycle. So you want to know at what time what's the cycle rate or cycle duration for your product. Then the throughput time. That's your way. So check your throughput time will be at the time at which it is down, your people are not using your product and the likes. So going forward or moving forward, we'll talk about, so we're now on the vanity metrics. So like I said before, the vanity metrics is a metric that can be misleading and fickle. Don't mean they're not important. They make you look good, but they're not. Please let me know if you can hear me clearly. They make you look good, but they're not in line, or they don't align with your, thank you. They don't align with the business goals. So vanity metrics are defined as that type who looks good to others, but they don't help with informed decision. Now, I don't know if you've gone through social media influencers and see competitors trying to shade each other. There's so many products owners or business owners run after people with large followers, right? And you pay large sum of money, then you realize that the returns you're having, because you assume that you have large population, large people checking their large people checking their page. But instead of that, if you want to use a social media influencer, you could have for their daily post engagement metrics. So you want to know the number of people that are they are engaging with their post and how number of times they come back. So like now, somebody's creating a conversation thread on a particular post. So you have more engagement. So people come back to the post, come and talk, come and do this, come and do that, as against their followers. So you begin to know that sometimes you realize that a social influencer with lesser followers but better engagement, as against a one with many followers and lesser engagement, then you begin to quantify or know which one is still preferable for your sales conversion or for your optimization or exposure. So, and this is funny how people run after people with large followers. At the end of the day, they can't even make the money they paid the influencer. And as a social media influencer, your fee should not be, I don't know, I'm talking about content. Your fee should not be more about the number of followers you have. It should be more about your engagement per day or per post. So Vanity, so you might have 1 million followers. I might have 10,000 followers. 1 million followers makes you look good, but it's their Vanity metrics. When I give you that my 10,000 followers engages my post like 8,000, I have 8,000 engagement per post per day, then or per post. That makes me better than you that has 100,000 followers with like 5,000 engagements or thereabouts. So this includes landing page views. So people that come to view your page, they can't view your page. I don't mean they'll convert. Social media impression. And social media impression also your views and people that view or want to walk through your page. I'm sorry. Okay. Then marketing spend, which is how much you are spending on marketing or thereabout. No, marketing spend is different from that. Just a few minutes. Marketing spend, I'm coming and check on marketing spend. It is a bit of marketing spend. Okay. It is the spend per order, items per order, percentage or new or active subscription, renewal rate, and the rest. These are running costs for a customer. So these are marketing spend. Yeah. So the amount you use for renewal rates, for subscription rates, amount you spend on marketing and branding and everything. So that's marketing spend. Then total website hits, which will include the which will include bounce rate, time on. So remember when I said I was on a page that I was fast with reading and they asked to go back for 5 seconds to read that page, I can turn over. So time on page is important. Sessions, unique users, new users, pages per session, users per month, organic search that was traffic that was being leaked or converted and everything. So this calculates the total website hit, or you can say you have a lot of views, 10,000 views, something's happened to your page or checking your page. Then daily number of messages on a messaging app or chat, or don't know how many people. So a messaging app or a chat app like Slack. You want to sometimes Slack sends us Slack sends us a weekly metrics analysis of number of responses or interactions on the Slack channel per week. They also send resources that have been shared. They share stand up, time, failure, and the rest. They share those things, so you want to have that. The Vanity Metrics doesn't mean that people are getting that, but at the same time, it helps you make you look good and make you check what can do well. So even though Vanity Metrics, don't look at Vanity Metrics as sometimes not important. They're not vital, but they're important, because if you don't have people from social media inspiration know about your brand, you will not have sales. You don't have people come to your website to come and check your products, you will not have conversion rates. But so they can also be tweaked to give you your success metrics. But the thing that you cannot really quantify them. So you can only check, okay, what is So that's when you have a marketing team. They realize that each time they share an ad on Facebook, they have more page views but less conversion. But each time they share but they have much page views, right? Each time they share on Twitter, they have less page view. That's landing page. Now I'm not talking about the posts. They have more less page view, but more conversion. That means people that come to the page, come and check the page, they come to buy because they're already informed. Why Facebook, people that come to and check the page, they all come because, oh, I heard that, I hear say, and the rest. But also remember that Vanity Metrics could help with the word of mouth and could help you have a referral and help you have which growth metrics we'll talk about later on. So even though they are misleading and fickle, they make you look good to others, they're also part of your process and they're partly important. So same thing, I don't need total of purchase and download. So how many people download your app? How many people uninstall your app on iOS, the the Play Store, Google Play Store, and the iOS web. So social media followers, how many people are following your page? How many engagement are you having, etc. So Vanity Metrics should be tweaked, like I said, to be quantifiable by answering questions like, is this data real and quantified? Like, these people that are checking my page, are they real? Where are they coming from? So let us check. Is this that we should do more of Twitter engagements to have more conversions, or should do more of Facebook engagement to have more conversions? Right? Does it produce results? So if I have Facebook engagement and people are coming to the landing page or the website to come and check, but they're not buying, but I realize that like 2 weeks later, I realize that people are coming organically. I don't know where they are coming from to come and check. It may be a Facebook thing. So even though they're not buying when they're checking the website, they went ahead to go and tell people, right? So does it produce results at the long run or the short term? Does it represent a product or does it align with the business goal? So moving on from that, the third one, remember when I talked about the major types of metrics? I talked about the categorization of metrics. We have 8 minutes to go. 8 minutes to go, and I need to close this trash. I need to close this topic today. So let's see how we go. What time? Make sure to what time a little bit. So we have remember I talked about categorization of metrics when I talked about the bottom line, the top line, and the conversion metric, right? Then I also talked about the major type, which were the success, vanity, and now the third one for the major type is growth. Don't get it confused. The categorization, which is the conversion, the top and bottom line metrics, the sales, visits, and conversion, right? But we have the major one that talk about the product or the product picture completely, which is the success one, the vanity. So the one that aligns with your business goal, the vanity that makes you look good to your competitors and everything, and at the same time impacts the success metrics. Then the third one, we have the growth metrics. This can be said to be hard. So I won't be able to play the YouTube video I promised, but I'll drop the link on the channel because we don't have time any longer. So this is also called the Pirate Metric Framework. So is called Pirate Metric Framework. It helps to define metrics that affect the health of a product. So actually the health of changes of a product, or the health as regards the stages of a product. It helps you to run tests on each stage of the product and push product growth, implementation and improvement likewise. So one of the metrics feature is the A/B testing. So one of the major metrics feature is A/B testing. So for each time your product is moving from the acquisition stage or the launch stage to the next stage, you want to test if as I get A and B. So that's when I did the CRM changes, and people are complaining that they have some manually assigned tasks, which will affect response time rates indirectly. Because if their manager take time to start assigning tasks and they have to wait for the manager to assign tasks so they start working on it, then are they affected by 2 minutes as Zoom response time rate average? That means their response time will be around 2.5 minutes, right? So I will have to I have to create a B1 and check, okay, you guys use the CRM A, I this A and B. Tell me which one you prefer. Then I will see the one that work better, that gives the response time rate at exact 2 minutes, and the one that gives the response time rate at 2.1 minutes. Then definitely the one at 2 minutes exact or 1.99 minutes exact will be the one that will be better. So A/B testing are part of the feature you create, which is just the testing between A and B. This is the so A/B testing is what I'm explaining here, which is the comparison of a user experience against the other. So you have two A and B. You want to pick which one is better, which is one better. So for an example is at the launch or execution phase. So one of these phases, what I pick from is AARR. So let us at the acquisition or landing page or launching phase of a landing page. So let's say KodeCamp website. You want to test two different sign-up forms. So KodeCamp is having their website, other website, and you want to test the sign-up form. So we have to type of sign-up form. The first one whereby like 5 pages. The second one has like 2 pages. Remember when I said also change the finance sign-up page from 5 pages to 1 page, right? So you want to see. So it's going to be very funny if, because you now have a 1-page documentation. I said about, I think, 2 class back or 1 class back. You want to, because you have 1-page documentation, then you have more customers, then you think it will help your success metrics. It might not help your success metrics. It might be unhealthy for you. So already in terms like, because it's a 5-page, so even though the customer is saying, oh yeah, this is not very easy, I can do that, and you remove the commitment fee and everything or bond, which is interesting. So maybe, so let's use AutoCheck as an example, because I think the example is better. So that when you said they had what they call the test drive fee or the commitment fee. The drive fee is 1% of the car amount. If your car is 35 million naira, paying like 5,000 naira thereabouts. 5,000 naira to test drive the car. This cash is refunded. Well, one time they realized they had the cost of refund 15 naira, 5 naira from bank. They also they paid to Flutterwave. So the percentage 0. something 0.00. I can't put the definite. The percentage the customer takes over. So if I'm paying 35,000 naira, it's like what I'll get back is around 34,000 naira, because 1,000 naira they are about taking away as Flutterwave charges, right? At the end of the day, this does not benefit the company. The company is incurring costs over time. It does not benefit the customer, because you are giving the customer 5% test drive fee return, and at the end of the day, it's not just the 100%. So what is the best thing to do? Okay, let's move the driving and let's do a discount of 500. Right. So pay 500, not refunded money as commitment fee. That way, Flutterwave does not take up to 1,000. It may just take like 100 naira. Then the company has 500, around 2,000, let's say 2,400 or thereabout as amount in their account. So that way the company is making money instead of as against returning costs. Now you've done that, but it could be healthy for that aspect of customer business and everything. But me, that I earn 70,000 naira, and you say in like the least money a salary earner should earn is 2,000 naira. Because my 7,000 naira now, I can move down 500. I'll go and apply. As against when I could have paid 5,000 naira, and I start thinking that half of my salary is 5,000 naira for to go and check this car. No, let me go and think very well. So it might be unhealthy to your conversion rate, right? So now, as against now, which is now 5 pages documentation stage, as against 1-page documentation. 1-page documentation is easy for the customer. So to the customer department is awesome. Instead of them to have draft applications, they're having more completed applications as against draft applications. But here's the problem. So 5-page application is stage by stage, whereby you write your name, you tell me, you upload your document and everything. If you don't have that document, you can't move to the next stage. Because of that, a customer that I said the customer lie or true, and most likely can lie or true and I said you want to look for one paper and put for CSC document. When they ask you, you don't answer them, so that connection is closed. But as against, so because I know that it's a CSC document, I will just stop my application and go and look for my CSC document. So even though it loads the completed application, at the same time, it helps the quality of leads that comes into the funnel. So at the end of the day, even though there are 2,005 people that start the application and 1,005 people complete the application, at least you have 1,000 quality leads to convert at the end of the day. So now this growth, this acquisition phase metrics or the A/B testing is what make you test the A and B. You want to test the 5-page form and again the B-page form. So the customer is awesome because it's not a 1-page form. But so the conversion to the business, to the success metrics or the business alignment, which is revenue, is not healthy because now you have a whole lot of unhealthy leads as against quality leads. So do you understand where A/B testing is important to measure your growth and not just have vanity? So you don't just have some vanity metrics and start feeling like you're on top of the world. So you want to test 2 sign-up forms and find out one which is more easier, which have more sign-ups, right? But at the same time, you want to check the one that has more quality content. So why as retention phase, you want to be able to test different types of different types of conversions. Actually, I think the mistake there, conversions. Then limited time discount to increase your user retention. So like for example now, so retention phase now, so the 5,000 months to 2,500, they will have more leads coming in or more customers signing up because they are paying 500. And again, when they have a customer paying 5,000 naira, 1% as a 3.5 million. If I'm buying a 15 million naira, I'm collecting like 500,000 naira from my hand or thereabout. So here is an example for retention mates. So at the point of retention, we want to put some discounts and see which of discount is working better. So when you said 2 for 1, so even though you've made the price 1.5 price, customer is wondering, I don't think I want this. But I guess when you said 25% discount off, the same things. So this is going to be your A and this is going to be your B. You want to know which of these products or which of the discounts creates more retention for you and have more customer coming for you, right? So moving on from that, now remember when I said the growth metrics is the So we're talking about it now, which is the parametric framework. So the first A stands for acquisition. So when do you obtain the customer? Now, this is now very important. This helps you understand a whole lot of decisions that someone made us in your company. So because let's assume your company is doing a networking commission rate kind of thing, whereby they said, look at customer, apply for this loan, and I'm going to give you money. But the customer has come before. Customer has come to the website before. Customer has tried to check, even though the customer doesn't understand information, but the customer has come maybe through, I've been on the website, through the marketing, wherever, or during the period whereby marketing spend was on the high side. So that means we are going back to back with marketing out there, and this customer will just coming. So even though at that point he came in, he did some application, but he didn't complete the application, and you at that point in time, you as a staff at that point in time, met the customer like, yeah, I've been on your website before, but I don't understand. But you walk the customer through the application completion to disbursement. The staff will assume that it should get at least some commission based on the fact that at least the customer closed the transaction. But for the company, it is not profitable because this customer has been part of the thousands of dollars spent on marketing to bring the customer on board. So the customer wouldn't have been, it's not organically from that staff. It has been from the marketing spend. So so the company is not talking about. So when McClure created, when they created this framework, it was for to make profitable for the business. Business will then know that, okay, yes, I point on this time I obtain this customer, even though the customer did not go through my funnel to completion. So activation, at what point did the customer purchase from you? At what point did they use your product? So if I'm telling a staff that your commission rate is on acquisition, whereby I want you to give me an organic client that doesn't come through my marketing channel, and it will get the commission. But if I accept my commission on activation, even though you think actually this is what I did the work for you, but it didn't come from activation metrics, which I have used for the staff. But if I said activation metrics, then that would have the commission based on the work done. Now, but the reason why you're in my company is because I want to work on customers that come to my website and make sure that they are converted. So do you understand the aspect? So acquisition is when make you understand when you're paying the customer, when they come to your website, from where do you spend money from, and able to calculate your CLV. Remember what CLV means, which is the average cost for a customer. This is customer lifetime value, that's the average cost of a customer as against what you spend in marketing or operational costs. So activation metrics is what, when did the customer purchase and use my product? Retention, when does this customer come back? They come back again to come about that product. Revenue, how do I make money? So that means for the acquisition cost, as against the activation cost, which is the process cost, that may be acquisition cost to be marketing cost, against the acquisition cost, which will be your cost, your operation cost, which is on number of people, that your staff and power and energy. Then when the customer purchase, want to be as a case, does it make a revenue? Are you running on loss, running on a good sale? Then referral, how does the customer talk about your company? Are they referring customers to you and the likes? Today. So we have product metric solutions. So that's I talked about the major types of product metrics, which is the success, vanity, and growth metrics. Growth metrics is also the R metric, that double A, triple R. Then so we talked about the subdivisions. I talked about the primary, the secondary, the guide grade, or the health metrics. So primary metrics are the goal, then the business goal, the overall business goal. We need to close our class. Yes, so we need to close. Okay, so we need to close the class. And so we had a class on this overall metrics. By next class, we just run through them. I think 5 more slides remaining and work. Thank you very much for attending today's class. Do have a wonderful day. Bye, guys.
Yeah, telling you about him backing out.